Bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. The foundation leads the fight. The warriors lead the tribe. When the beat drops and the spirits rise, we find the truth behind the disguise. They want us to go away, only our hearts do we obey. The foundation leads the fight. The warriors lead the tribe. When the beat drops and the spirits rise, we find the truth behind the disguise. They want us to go away, only our hearts do we obey. No ranks, no chains, just unity. One tribe, one light, one destiny. No ranks, no chains, just unity. One tribe, one light, one destiny. Bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. No ranks, no chains, just unity. One tribe, one light, one destiny. No ranks, no chains, just unity. One tribe, one light, one destiny. Bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo.
I want to have one on.
Why not? There's always one.
Bucking the
Sometimes three.
status quo.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Irreverent Warriors podcast. I am Hugh from Irreverent Warriors, and I'm joined by my homie Roy from the St. Louis chapter of Irreverent Warriors, and also Corporal Todd Nicely, 2nd Marine Regiment. Fantastic always to have you on. I only know, I can only guess what you've been getting into with all the shenanigans I see on Facebook.
Do we really want to talk about it, or are we just gonna, play with it?
What do you think we do here? We're gonna play with it. We're gonna play with it in public.
No, I recently gave someone a tattoo.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
that's pretty dope.
I think I might be the first quadruple amputee to ever give someone a tattoo.
Hell yeah. Hopefully it was a tattoo that was completely inappropriate.
No, it was my signature because that was the only way I could.
Got it. We're readjusting microphones.
Adjusting microphones. All right.
Yeah.
Getting yelled at.
You're getting yelled at. Okay, so I know we've got Chris. We've got a guest on. We're going to talk about upcoming Silkies hikes. I know we've got Detroit August 29th. We got Boise September 5th, Chattanooga as well. And I know that we've got Chris on from New Hampshire, which we're super excited about this hike. We're going to bring Chris on, and we're going to discuss everything that's going on with the Roy, help him out. We're going to bring.
He's good.
Yeah. We're going to bring.
Brother. It just looks funny in the screen. That's why it's driving me crazy. I didn't want it on my ear. I want it off my ear.
So you can hear better. Yeah, I hear you. But we're going to have Chris. Chris is going to jump on, and he's going to give us the rundown on everything going on with New Hampshire. So
much better now.
Hey, what's up, homie? How you doing?
Hey, how we doing, guys?
Awesome. Dude, it's great seeing you. I know that your chapter's been doing incredible stuff on the East Coast with a lot of support from other chapters. Let's give a shout out to them too. But dude, tell us what is in store in New Hampshire and Portsmouth. You got a big event coming up. Tell us the date, the time, all the details, man.
So yeah, we have our second annual Silkies hike coming up next weekend on Saturday, August 29th. It's crazy. We did the first one last year. We had a great turnout. It was a little smaller. We had about 90 people registered between volunteers and veterans hiking the event. This year we've got an insane amount of growth. We just hit 135, so it's going to be a lot bigger this year than it was last year. No, we swapped up the route that we're hitting a little bit. We're going to be going through the downtown Portsmouth. We're actually going to be crossing the bridge over into Kittery, Maine. We're going to get some great views of the ocean, crossing across the Piscataqua River. Going over there, we're going to see the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard. We're going to be stopping at a restaurant. Shout out to Warren Seafood and More. They're hosting us for our lunch. We're going to be taking over their tiki bar. We're going to be going out to the Pierce Island, another great, area right on the ocean for some great views. We're going to have our memorial stop there before we continue back into downtown Portsmouth. It's going to be pretty busy this time of year, a lot of tourism. So we're going to get some big crowds of eyes on us, having 100 plus veterans and Silkies hiking through the city. So it should be pretty good.
Dude, that sounds sick. Tell me more about the tourism stuff. Like, what do people come to Portsmouth for, generally speaking? Like, the day before the hike, the day after the hike, what are the things that people love to do and engage in? Like, when you were talking about the ocean, I was picturing, like, is there any sea life there? Like, is there anything you could talk about that would be unique to that area?
Yeah, absolutely. So the tourism side on there it's a seacoast town or city. You get a lot of the sailboats, the fishing boats. There's a lot of great, seafood restaurants, stuff like that out there. Obviously, New Hampshire being one of the tax-free states, a lot of people travel up there. They have seasonal homes up there. So we're getting into the end of the summer season. So it's kind of the last rush for tourism in the area. So there's going to be a lot of locals, but also a lot of out-of-towners as well. So I'm excited to see them be shocked again like they were last year. Going across the ocean.
Does this happen to be in the fall?
Ask him.
Does this happen to be in the fall?
So I mean, we're getting into the fall. The foliage hasn't started changing or anything. That'll be about another month for that part of the state.
But it's August 29th, right?
August 29th.
Yeah, August 29th.
I mean, I've been in New Hampshire, and it's a beautiful, beautiful state. I can't say enough about it. Like, especially coming through when the foliage starts to change and all that. It's a beautiful state. My buddy lived up there. I got one of my tattoos up there.
Nice.
So I love this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, New Hampshire's lit, man. I had no idea they had tax-free That's kind of crazy. I had no idea about that. So have you ever been on a fishing boat? I mean, I don't live somewhere where there's, ocean fishing. So have you been on one of these, like a one that actually catches stuff where you eat it in a restaurant?
Yeah, so we do a lot of stuff with some other veterans organizations here. We do a lot of deep sea fishing trips where it'll be X amount of veterans. They'll post that they have availability. We'll meet up in the morning. I didn't get to do one this year. I've just been too busy. But last year we went out and it was about 6 or 7 hours of deep sea fishing. And everything that you caught, you could bring it to the back. They would, fillet it up and everything, put it in bags, and you could take it home with you.
Were they throwing nets out like a big commercial one, or is it just small?
So it's a bigger boat, but all the veterans would line up on both sides. They have all the reels for you and everything. You just go out, cast your line. It sinks all the way down. I think it was about an hour and a half boat ride out into the deep sea, and you're just out there fishing off the side of the boat for hours.
You ever see any whales or anything like that?
Yeah, if you go out far enough, there's a lot of places that'll do like whale watch tours. You'll go out on a ship, kind of an afternoon, buy a ticket, go out for that, and you can kind of, depending on the season, depending on how busy it is, sometimes you'll go out there and see a ton of whales. Other times, it'll kind of be a bust.
Got it. And then tell me about the shipyard. You said you're going to go look at a shipyard. Like, have they ever made military vessels there or anything like that?
Yeah, so we're going to be passing by the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard. It's an active duty naval shipyard. I believe they do some stuff with subs out there. I need to look a little bit more into the history of there. I've met with them a couple times. Well, some of the people there to get our flyers and our information put out. It's an active duty area, so we get a lot of Navy people that see our stuff. And this year, thankfully, a lot of them have registered for the hike, as well as we have a Space Force base here in New Hampshire, and our flyer got put up there. So we've got quite a few Space Force veterans coming out to join us this year.
Well, this is a good topic to discuss. I'm going to throw this out to I'm going to throw it out to our guests here in the studio. Is Space Force an actual part of the military? Yes or no?
I want to say no comment, but at the same time, who knows in the future? Like, the Air Force started out as an elite group of people that, the Air Force was respected in World War II.
But don't you need...
I love how you started that out with, they started out as an elite group.
Yes, well, because they were. Now we all know that the Air Force is just a corporation now. Like, I still respect the veterans. They signed up to do something that no one else will do. But we all have our jokes about what is going on. And the Space Force, for me as a Marine, I don't know if I should even go here, but it's kind of like the Coast Guard. It's like, yeah, what have you done for us lately?
Hey, hold out hope. Someday they might turn into like the Space Navy, and then there can be Space Marines to them.
Well, I
is
didn't
this Halo?
say anything about it.
Is this the game Halo?
I think.
This is where it starts.
I think the Coast Guard actually does real work. Like, they rescue people.
But so does the Space Force, defending our satellites and everything else.
No. Okay, let me put it like this. Coast Guard's in harm's way. Who is the Space Force? If they're a military organization, who's their enemy?
The Chinese Space Force.
Wouldn't it be aliens? Wouldn't that be the natural?
That's what we all go to, but no, the Space Force is actually just there to protect our satellites and things going on in space.
It's physical space and cyberspace is their the way their charter is set up.
I want to throw this now over to Chris to make a final decision. Is the Space Force a part of the military?
I would say by association, the same way that the Air Force came from the U.S. Army Air Corps, and then the Space Force came from the Air Force. So kind of like the Army is the grandfather. So like kind of by association.
I feel dirty now.
I feel like no one wants to answer that question.
I feel like we had Air Force jokes, and now we've been gifted with Space Force jokes, which is like a whole new level.
Well, you know what?
They write themselves.
Aren't
like
they
the
a
Space Cadet
department
jokes?
of the Air Force? So who knows? Maybe one day they'll be like the elite Marine Corps.
I think they are set up like the Marine Corps. They don't have a secretary.
His brain just exploded.
Yeah. Well, Chris, we are very excited about your hike. Thank you so much for weighing in on the Space Force controversy today.
Oh, man.
We hope you have a wonderful hike. And hey, guys, August 29th, New Hampshire. It's worth a drive. It's worth a flight. It's a beautiful, beautiful time of year. And you might get to see a whale. You never know.
And if I had some travel time right now, I would absolutely be there because Chris sold it like a dream.
If we had some budget, we would be there too. But,
That's a different discussion for a different day.
We're the grassroots organization, and we like being lean. We like being lean and mean. Well, thank you very much, Chris. Thanks for joining us. Your shirt looks great. You look great. See you later, homie.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. I always love seeing Chris. I actually should have brought up MCon because we're doing MCon on the 23rd of October.
End of October, yep.
In Vegas, the big military veteran conference of the year. Todd, you should think about coming. But Roy and I are going to be going there, and I know we've got a whole list of folks that are going to be coming to help us out there in Vegas, and Chris is one of them. Chris is going to be helping us out there. So if you're anywhere near Vegas, October 23rd through the 25th, there's a big veteran conference, the big veteran conference of the year. Hit us up. We will be there. We'll be working a booth, handing out flyers and recruiting people.
And maybe a flash hike.
Maybe a flash hike. We might be doing a Flash Silkies hike. And no, I see where his mind's going. Where was your mind going when we said flash hike?
It was going to me sitting naked in my Segway.
Do you know that I'm a visual person? Which means
wasn't that amazing though?
That makes that even better.
when someone says something, I automatically picture it.
Yeah, and wasn't that amazing?
I can't.
Me with a flag in the background and just naked.
You should not have said that on this podcast.
You're right. You're right. I'm doomed.
I can picture it, and it looks amazing.
Yeah. So I wanted to get into our next topic of discussion, though, and I'm glad I have you two lively folks to run it by. But when we think about, this conference that we're going to, when Roy and I go to these different conferences, and you've been to a couple of military conferences over the years. We just got back from the VFW one. It was fantastic. You notice how many military nonprofits there really are, because every year, it's almost like there's all different ones every year, and at every conference and every convention. And Roy goes to the state level VFW convention, so you get to see all these tables and all these booths. Right? There are so many veteran nonprofits, and as a veteran nonprofit community, which we're a part of because we, work and volunteer at them, are we actually helping vets as much as we should, or are we building a nonprofit industrial complex that feeds itself with everybody's walking around and doing tabling events and handing like flyers and cards to one another, and it's like just this big it just brings the question together. Like, I know you guys have interacted with a lot of nonprofits. I know you're both looking at me like you don't want to answer this. Don't say a name of a nonprofit.
I'll go first.
Okay, go first.
Let him go first.
What do you think? Do you think that the veteran nonprofit space is being effective, or do you think it's just a shit ton of egos?
I think there's a lot of egos, but I also think there's people out there trying to do good. And here's what I've dealt with going into that. Being at Walter Reed in 2010, after I was immediately blown up, I became one of the poster childs of please, please, please do my organization. So when I did, people were giving me things, but then they would use my name without my recollection.
It's like being used.
Yeah, I'm like a walking billboard. So I learned to, really study these organizations. And so I've learned that if an organization is not 90% or above, they're not doing it for the right reasons.
Oh, on their 990 tax form?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can look into any organization you want.
Sure.
I don't care how much good they think they're doing. If they're not 90% and above, it's to make money for themselves. Because any organization that I've been part of, no one's really getting a salary. They're just doing it out of the kindness of their heart.
I love this metric because you want to know why? Do you know what our number is? Do you know what our number is offhand?
Yes. 99.8, I think.
I think someone's going off.
9.8.
Either way.
Last year it was 94%.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yes,
I thought it was higher than that.
94%, and then a little bit under 6% in administrative overhead, insurance, all that kind of stuff.
And that leads me to my second point, which is there a follow-up? Is there a website? Is there a way where other veterans that came to your organization can keep together on another webpage without having to take each other's numbers?
Like, is there a Facebook community?
Yeah,
is there like,
because
is there
sometimes the head people aren't available, but there might be someone in the community that can help that veteran at that time.
Oh, the network effect.
The
is
network
what you're saying.
effect
Like
is what
being
I'm
able to
saying.
like network and say like in
Exactly.
text and say like.
So when you go on a fishing trip, they take you out to go fishing, but there's no follow-up. They're like, look at me. I took some vets out on my charter boat that I want to make more money for. Yeah, they're a veteran organization, but are they really doing any good except for trying to make money for themselves?
Yeah, that's like my friend out in Colorado was telling us that story about the fishing organization he went out with,
Okay.
where they just took him out fishing, and the mentor would cast the line, he'd hook the fish, he'd do all the work, and then he'd just hand the pole off to the veteran afterwards, like, here you go, reel it in. And all they're doing is reeling it in, and they pose for it with the picture, and it's like, but that veteran didn't really learn anything.
Yeah. So what you're saying is the experience needs to be engaging. It needs to be authentic. I think that's the main thing you're saying is that when a veteran nonprofit does it and it's not authentic, where you don't feel like I'm actually participating, I'm actually a part of something, and we are able to continue that networking and camaraderie after the fact, then it feels like being used.
Yeah, I guess the term non-authentic is correct.
Yeah.
But like I said, if there's not a follow-up plan or a way for these veterans to feel like they've done something or learned a little bit about even making life better besides just going fishing and drinking on a boat, that's not helping that veteran. All you're doing is making it worse.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, VetTix is a perfect example, right? Like, they don't do anything, but they give the veteran a perfect opportunity to go have an experience. Right? That's really what the goal is you should be offering an experience if you're going to talk about you're helping people. Like, what's the experience that they're getting out of it?
Yeah. Yeah. My thing with VetTix is I get 1 billion emails a day, and I can't. I don't want 1 billion emails a day from VetFlick.
That's just.
I just want to know like what's in my town.
Yeah, but that's the problem with the way their system works is because they have to meet so many requirements to get those free tickets.
But that's one of those organizations, I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, they're giving us an experience, but what are they actually doing before the vet besides giving them a concert experience where they're going to go possibly make their life worse, make worse decisions, or it could be a thing that they really are into and help save them.
True, but not everyone's you and is making worse and worse decisions every time they go.
Hey, you, this isn't, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's hard to imagine this, but there is the veteran community out there that's well-adjusted and just adapts well, and they're just, it's just a thank you for them.
Who are they? Where are they?
I don't.
the Air Force.
I keep getting told they exist. I have yet to ever meet them, but I keep hearing they exist.
Space Force.
Ooh, yep. Actually, this brings me to my next topic.
Why are you still looking at me? Why are you still looking at me?
This brings me to my next topic. Veteran dating. Why is veteran dating such an absolute disaster? And I will hold my perspective. I do have an opinion on this, but I want you guys to weigh in on why veteran dating can be such a disaster. It can work great. We know a lot of couples that make it work.
Todd, do you feel like we're being attacked today?
I do. I feel like every question is towards our failures and what we disagree on.
You guys, I didn't pick this topic because you've both been married to a service member, but that is an odd circumstance that we find ourselves in. So
No, it's not. We know the statistics on that.
I'll let you guys weigh in.
You're first this time.
Well, my current spouse is also a veteran of Afghanistan.
Shout out to Rachel.
And it's very different than my first marriage was, because she was not a veteran. So
And
it is.
And it wasn't made on, and then the marriage decision wasn't made on active duty.
Well, the first one was. This one wasn't.
Yes, no, that's what I'm saying. This marriage went better maybe because the decision wasn't made during active service, at the beginning of active service.
I am, though, the dependopotamus
Now you are.
in the marriage. I'm the dependopotamus.
I love that. I love that Roy's a dependa. Okay.
Dependa.
So Roy's very positive.
So Roy's
He's very positive on.
Roy's the opposite as me.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
I was married to a vet first, and now I'm married to a civilian. Mm-hmm. The comforting thing with being married to a vet is they understand. But the hard part is sometimes they, how do I say this?
Have no empathy?
Not empathy. It's that it depends on what type of veteran you're married to. It's all going to matter. If they're chasing benefits they don't deserve or doing things
They have
like
other motives.
I'm getting PTSD because I was yelled at by my shop sergeant. That's a little different to me than people who are seeking it for real reasons from MST and stuff like that.
Totally. And let's dig into that in a minute. But yeah, like I think I have seen military spouses, both male and female, that come into the marriage with the wrong motives.
Mm-hmm.
And the motive is like maybe the number one most important thing in the entire marriage, right?
Well, we were making more money married.
Yeah, true. And I think, what I've noticed is that we graduate from high school with very low emotional intelligence. If we're being honest, we're in high school drama, high school politics, all this stuff. Then we go to the military, and basic training literally programs emotional intelligence out of us. You're going to be in fight or flight. You're going to stay in fight or flight, and you're going to make decisions in fight or flight, and we're going to double down on that. So just stay in your limbic system response, your fight or flight mode, and we're just going to continue with high school almost, with the emotional aspect of things. We're going to actually take what you've learned, and we're going to dampen it. We don't want you to understand your feelings that much. We don't want you focused on your emotions that much. We need you making decisions in combat. We need you doing hardcore stuff. And then you have this whole military unit that basically has low emotional intelligence, but it works because there's so much structure, there's so much discipline, there's so much adrenaline that it works. You don't need to have high emotional intelligence.
If the average is low, you don't need to be high.
Totally. But then we get out, and then we come into the civilian world where, in the opposite way, they've become better with their emotions. Obviously some people have worked on it more than others, but they've become more mature with their emotions. It's been programmed out of us. Emotional intelligence and understanding our emotions and feelings and honoring our emotions and feelings has been programmed out of us, right? So then I think those two environments create a couple that will come together, and they both have a lower emotional intelligence, and there's just like an explosive, there's an explosive situation, right? A possible explosive situation.
The way you just explained that put a lot of thought on a lot of things for me, because imagine when you first get removed from the military. Now you're at that low emotional state. That's why it's so hard for us to reintegrate into society.
Yes.
Is because we've been told to live in fight or flight and live on instinct instead of thinking about what we do in the first place.
In the civilian world is like, what is wrong with you, right?
Yeah. It's also hard to empathize with people that are losing their shit over day-to-day decisions when it's like, oh, congratulations, 6 months ago I was making life or death decisions for 12 people.
Yeah, but at the same time, they haven't been what you've been through.
No, I understand that, but that's why when you come out, it's really hard to empathize with, their life-altering problems when you're like, that was Monday morning before coffee for me.
Right. But once again, we're trained. So we're used to that. That's why I'm saying it's so hard for us to readapt, is because we've been stuck in that flight or flight mode in instinct instead of using what I call, or what we call at Focus, the gap.
Yeah, creating space, discernment.
And think about what's actually going to happen before you do it.
Discernment, wisdom, all that kind of stuff, different words for it. But it's like, for us, it's in IW, we're talking about emotional intelligence, because it's like understanding this emotion is coming up and I don't need to act on it.
Right. It's feeling it fully and understanding it before you make any decision about doing it.
Yeah,
Totally.
when you have a reaction, you just pause for just a second to make sure it's real.
Yeah.
This is what I'm committing to doing. Okay.
Yep.
Which is far more than we did 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
This brings me to my next topic, which I've been mulling over in my head, and that is, it feels like on my Instagram feed, everybody in the United States now that's posting and everything, everybody has PTSD, right? And I'm not going to say what's real PTSD versus not. If the hardest thing in your life was getting dumped, then, and when someone brings up that breakup or brings up that person dating a new person and you get triggered by it and everything, there is kind of a emotional trauma reaction there. You know what I mean? And I think, but what I'm wondering is if the veteran community brought that term PTSD into the forefront through all of what we do at nonprofits and what we talk about.
I don't think we did. I think other people latched onto us.
Good. I was gonna say paper, rock, scissors to see who goes first on this one, but you jumped right in.
I was thinking that maybe because it got talked about so much after post 9/11, that all of a sudden everybody's so much more aware of it. But then there's a side effect of everybody now experiencing it or calling it that.
I think it's more the society we live in right now. Everybody wants to label absolutely every experience and file it into boxes where it's going to go in your life experience, which I think is a load of bull, considering the same experience can teach you different things upon reflection at different times in your life.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with PTS because I don't like the D in disorder.
Yep.
Because you know why? PTS can be cured if you work through it with a therapist or internally or some holistic medicine with a guide.
Plant medicines helped me a ton.
It just helped me a lot too. And that's why I say PTS is not a disorder. It's something that happens after a traumatic event that can be cured.
It's natural.
Yes.
It's natural. And then you can have post-traumatic growth, which is what I think you were just discussing, right? It's like
that definitely is part of post-traumatic growth for sure.
You have a negative event, but then as you revisit it, and a lot of times with holistic modalities like the plants and stuff that I've done in meditation and whatnot, I can come at a problem from a completely different lens and see, this was a learning moment for me. This is actually a gift now for me to use this and empathize and connect with someone else.
We were just having that conversation outside.
I told Roy there was a guy I wanted to punch in the face when I first met him because he goes, "What are you going to do with the gift you've been given?"
Oh.
And I was like, "What do you mean my injuries are a gift? This looks like a horrible, horrible way to live." And it took me a few weeks to get to the point where I realized he was actually right.
I would have taken years on that one, buddy.
So it was like, okay, I get it now. I get it.
Damn, it is. I was just thinking on my way here, I was like, man, my ADHD is crazy today. And then I was also like, but ADHD is a superpower because it actually allows me to be present and have this wonderful conversation with you guys.
Would be thinking about something else?
No, I'm just like, I don't know why, but I guess my ADHD is very hard to focus. But when I am focused, I'm like a laser.
Yeah.
Hyper-focused.
That's right. And that brings me to my next topic. So let's talk about the ends of the spectrum. Have you ever seen someone that's like, way too much, thank me for my service? And then have you ever seen someone that's way too much, don't thank me for my service, who actually deserves it?
I've seen all three.
Yeah.
I fall in the middle of, I'd rather have you say thank you for your service than stare at me like I'm a circus act.
Yeah.
So,
Except sometimes you make yourself a circus.
well, that's the fun part. I get to choose when it's okay, not them.
Okay, fair. Valid.
No, but I just believe that there are guys out there who would just rather not prefer to be thanked or anything like that. They don't show it. They don't want it to be known. And that's kind of sad because I believe that everyone who fought for our service deserves to be recognized for that. Now, on the flip side of that, yes, there is too many people that are, thank me for my service. What can I get free out of this?
Yeah.
There is that, but we're going to have a bad apple everywhere we go. What I don't like is the people who take advantage of the people who do that by doing, what is it called? Can't think of the word. Where they pretend to be.
Oh, stolen valor.
Stolen valor.
Oh.
That's what gets me going, is don't do that.
You want to know the ballsiest stolen valor thing I've ever seen in my life was at one of my Marine Corps balls from my infantry battalion. A guy came in dress blues, an older guy, like a Vietnam era guy, came in dress blues, wearing a Navy Cross, wearing all the correct ribbons for Vietnam, sat there and was honored and went through all this stuff. He wasn't the guest of honor. He was just a guy attending the Marine Corps ball because they opened it up to a couple tables to some nonprofits or something like that. And he was honored and all this stuff. And then it ended up finding out years later that that guy never served in the military.
Wow.
Is that
That's
not
how-
the
that's
most
how-
confident a guy goes to the Marine Corps ball? He probably went to dozens of Marine Corps
The
balls.
problem though is people like that fall through the cracks because we're not checking DD 214 forms. We're not doing
Yeah,
that. We're just going
true.
taking people's word.
Yeah.
And it's ruining the veteran name because
Yeah.
these guys go and get honored at places
Yeah.
that never deserved it. So now people
Yeah.
have a sour taste in their mouth.
Yeah, and then you create a community of people on the internet who just want to start attacking and tearing down every veteran they see,
Yes.
and try to tear apart their entire DD-214 and their entire ribbon stack just to pull an I gotcha because, 12 other knuckleheads over here just to get a free meal at Fridays on Veterans Day.
True. I think about my grandfather a lot because he's still alive. I love hanging out with him. I always hang out with him when I leave the podcast and I head home. It goes right by his house, so I go and hang out with him. And he's got 2 silver stars. He fought in Korea and Vietnam. He's got 2 silver stars, 2 bronze stars with a V. He was an airborne Army guy, and never was always like, nope, I don't want to be submitted for anything. I don't want to be recognized for anything. I don't want anyone to even really know that I served in the military.
Yeah, I've read his jacket before. Like,
Yeah.
he was badass.
And those
Yeah.
are the guys that did shit.
Yes.
Like the ones
Yes.
that are like, you don't have to thank me for my service. It doesn't matter. It's the ones that are really flamboyant that probably either maybe did nothing or they're lying about a lot of shit.
That brings me to my next topic. Has anybody? So when you're scrolling on Facebook, have you ever had like a someone pop up where it's like that? They're a great guy, but they were like a cook in a reserve unit, and they did a great job, and they're awesome. But now they're like on the rifle range, as a civilian with a beard and an operator, and they're like got all the like special forces stuff, and they're just like doing all this special forces.
I didn't know this is where he's talking about a gravy seal.
A gravy seal? Tell me what that means.
Yeah, I'm confused.
So gravy seals are those guys that were either 1, never in the military, or 2, they were in the military, but they were not a combat MOS.
Sure.
Right. And pure statement, I was not a combat MOS either, but I am also not doing what I'm getting ready to describe. They'll get on the internet and they'll just talk about guns, and they'll talk about how they'll teach everybody about guns and about how their technique is the best and how they're great shooters. And they're going to teach everybody this and that and this and that. And they did all these whiz bang cool things when they were in theater and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, man, you would probably have a heart attack if you kicked in your first door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that leads into what you were talking about is the gear people.
The Geardos.
Yeah, the Geardos. Well, it's kind of like that, but like the civilian version of that, right? And I'm just like, I try not to be judgmental. It doesn't work so. But I'm like looking at these feeds, and I'm like, this guy was a great guy, but he was not an operator, and he's like doing some steroids, and he's an operator now. He wants to be one.
Yeah, he hit his midlife crisis, and now all of a sudden he wants to go relive his military experience from a different experience.
Well, here's my thing as
A
well.
gravy seal. That's pretty good.
Is these guys hoard tons of weapons as well, like that, but they've got like 12 ARs. It's like, what are you going to do with 12 ARs and only 200 rounds of 5.56? You got to versify.
One person.
You got to be able to have a variety of different types of ammo and guns. When you're collecting the same rifle over and over, that's not going to help you when you only have 20 rounds of that ammunition.
And in a prepper situation, you want to have weapons that other ammo could become readily available to. You don't want to just have one type of round that only does one thing, and then 12 of them.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
I always find it amusing.
I find it amusing as well. All right. Well, that kind of wraps up all the topics I wanted to hit on today. I want to make sure. Oh,
You did miss.
Hit me, Roy.
September 18th through the 20th, Troy, Missouri, Integration 2026. And I think David might have a video for it.
No, it's just B-roll.
Oh, we got some B-roll. Yes, absolutely. Join us. We've got all the different holistic modalities there. You're seeing sweat lodge. You're seeing medicine bowls. You're seeing Tai Chi. You're seeing human design. You're seeing that's us making Lakota drum work. We are having the retreat of all retreats, September 18th, here in Missouri. You can check it out on the Irreverent Warriors .org website. You can go to gruntstylefoundation.org website to check this out. We've got the instructors listed. We've got the healers listed. We've got the curriculum. We've got the bios. We've got all the information you would need to see if you want to come and join us. But we have a fantastic time. And the idea is we allow veterans, first responders, and civilians to all come together. And really, it's all about holistic healing. You know, if you're like me, then you basically have been given a lot of pills over the years, and you've done a lot of talk therapy. And both of those things can be helpful. They were helpful at different points in my journey. But when it came to going inward and actually becoming the version of myself I needed to help heal myself, these holistic modalities are what really, really, really changed my life. And I think all of us here at the table have experienced these holistic modalities, and not all of them are for everyone. You know, there's ones you find where you're like, this isn't really for me, but it's very interesting to know that some people get healing from beekeeping, but maybe not for me. You know what I mean? So there's tons of different modalities, and you get to dip your toe into all of them at this event.
I believe in, you know, giving everything a shot once. Maybe
Yes.
it's not your thing, but go give it a shot, because it's about finding who you are in your inner self that really makes you who you are. So if you find something that you found there useful, where you started to dive into yourself and really know who you are, that's what you need to stick with.
100%. Like
Yeah. I'm a firm believer that you only find growth through discomfort.
Yes. Yeah, true. Yeah. Suffering can help a ton with transformation. And it helps me to go, it always helps me to be able to go inward. And a lot of times I couldn't face some of the really difficult things I was having a hard time forgiving myself for without outside help, without someone holding my hand. And what I ended up learning with these holistic modalities is the modality itself holds your hand as you do some of this difficult work. And so anyway, if you're interested in joining us, please check out the website. If you can't afford it and you need a scholarship, email info@irreverentwarriors.com, info@irreverentwarriors.com. And we'll see how many we have left. I think we have a couple of spots left for scholarships. But yes, thank you, Roy. I really messed that up. Yes, we've been working on the retreat so much, it's almost like it slipped my mind. But
Well, also, this one's new for that. This week they should be opening up tickets for the advanced drum making workshop and the rattle making workshop that our Lakota friends are going to be putting on.
oh yes, we've got a Lakota Sundance chief and his medicine singers that are going to come to do the official Lakota Sweat Lodge, and they are going to help people make musical instruments if you want to make an authentic Lakota musical instrument.
And the proceeds from that will go to help the Lakota with their travels and their ministries as well.
Absolutely.
I would love to
Absolutely.
make a drum.
Yeah, they're cool, and they have a much lower. They're small, but they have a low boom boom. Like it's
Yeah.
cool. It's cool. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me, Todd. It's always an honor
As
to have you
always.
here, brother. 2nd Marine Regiment, 2 baby warlords. Woo! Yut, yut. I was in Afghanistan with 2nd Marine Regiment as well, and then Roy, of course, 4th Infantry Division, 2 tours in Iraq. Always good. And you did Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And I did Iraq and Afghanistan. Here, collectively, we have 8 combat tours.
You know what I learned this week off of TikTok?
What?
There is probably somewhere some Burger King employee that has more combat tours than we do.
100%. 100%. Especially if they're in the Air Force and they do 90-day deployments. Shout out. Or the Space Force, I heard they do 90-minute deployments. All
Just
right,
long
guys.
enough to get them benefits.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next week, and have a great weekend. Peace. All right. All right. No.